on X at hashtag Kangas, Instagram hashtag Kangaroos podcast. Tonight, after a little bit of a layoff, I'm back with the wonderful Claire Cozzi on the second night of draft night. Now, we have a little bit of news to catch up on. We just had our second round pick come through probably 5 minutes ago, Claire, but we are here to preview the girls' prelim final this week. Team news there as well, big team news. But let's get and straight to it and the trade to go up the draft. Now, it happened on Wednesday, but it was official. It was official on Wednesday, but it happened on Monday. Now, we moved up the trade from 26. Gave up a future second, our third this year. We got Carlton's third. There's a few pieces involved, but basically we got Carlton's pick 11, and it went down a little bit with father, son, academy picks, and so forth. Pick 16, he ended up, and a lot of people were praying that this kid would fall to us. The best small forward in the draft this season, apparently, Lockie Doverston. A bit of Nick Watson about him, but apparently he thinks Nick Watson plays like him. Claire, your thoughts?
You know what, Dean, I absolutely love this time of year because it's like I get to be a kid on Christmas morning opening up my presents and just being happy because I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what Santa's bringing me because I just do not have the bandwidth or the capacity to go the entire season and understanding and following the Coates Talent League or the gettable draft videos with all those journalists that are overpaid. But yeah, what they just I've seen some of these. He's an inside mid, but he can also go outside, and he plays a little bit like Scott Penderbury. I'm like, what sort of analysis is this? What are we doing here?
Yeah, every player gets drafted. He's an absolute gun.
Exactly. Incredible! I can't believe he went that high. Like, it's just one of those things where it's so odd to me because there's within the media cycle of about 48 hours, there's winners and losers of a draft night, and not a single kid has played yet. So, yeah. I mean, look, I'm excited from the sense that my group chats with very hardcore North fans were pretty stoked with Lockie, and I saw some videos of the kid, and he's got a bit of swagger, and he's got a bit of funk, and I think from the perspective of losing like really cool guys that I consider fun and interesting, like Eddie Ford and Finbar Maley and Will Phillips, I think it's nice to have someone with a bit of personality. So it's exciting. He looks like a fun kid. I think Kanga Lotto might get him, and I think the mullet will be gone pretty soon. And I would say he'll be in a buzz cut before Christmas. That's my prediction on that, Dean. But yeah, look, I'm happy that everyone else is happy because I don't really know much about the kid, and hopefully we get to see him next year and unwrap the Christmas presents. But for now, I'll just kind of reserve my judgment because. Yeah, draft is not my thing. But are you happy with it, Dean? What are your initial reactions?
Yeah, it's probably a positional need as well. Like I know all we've done since we didn't select Nick Watson a few years ago. It feels like we've just gone down this rabbit hole of getting forwards into the club till we find someone that works. He does play similar to Nick Watson, play on good instinct.
Okay.
A good front and square type of player. It looks like he's got a good set of hands, very quick with his handball from his highlights. Was probably close to best on ground in the grand final, or some people might have even said he was best on ground. I can't remember. But like yourself, I don't religiously watch draft prospects or anything like that. I just look at the positional needs. All right, he's a small forward. Do we need that? Probably do. Someone that's a high-pressuring small forward. He seems to have a bit of arrogance about him, which we kind of need. We kind of need a bit of that going.
Yeah, we need a bit
we don't
of
want
that.
to be. I'm sick of being a nice guy. We kind of need to.
That's fair.
Play that heel persona a bit. No one likes us anyway, so you can tell that with the women's. No one likes us there, so everyone is hoping for us to fall. No one likes us in the men's program, so I like that he's got a bit of an attitude about him, similar to Nick Watson. So hopefully he plays a little bit like him. But what do you think about the positional needs of getting a small forward? We recruited Charlie Spargo, who's probably a small forward in a different sense. We've got a number of others that have come through: Costanti, Zach Bench, Robert Hanson.
Yeah,
there's probably one or two others I miss. Zach Fisher, I think his best position is still a small forward. I like Zach Fisher, Claire.
Sure, I would love to get a beer with you, Zach. In terms of, do I think you're going to be our future premiership small forward? No. But no, I agree with you. Someone said on the group chat, who has a lot more knowledge than me, who follows the Coates league, said this is a really good good prospect to sort of put away. And I think, they're finally gone. It's fascinating because North just consistently draft 180 centimeter mids. So it's nice to actually look at what we need and then go after it and somewhat fall into our laps, which is good to see. But yeah, I think it's an exciting prospect, probably having maybe in the future like Larky, Trembath, Bull, Curtis, and this little Doverton bloke running around in that forward line is quite tantalising from my perspective. And you got enough kind of chaos and drama and flair with, I guess, someone like Zurhaar and Curtis. So to add a little pesty kind of small forward into that mix is pretty exciting. And look, I don't think we've had a annoying small forward since, like a good prime one, since like Lindsay Thomas days. And he would be in my all-time probably top. I'd fit him into my top 20 easily. I don't know whether I'd fit him into my top 10, but I love Lindsay Thomas. Going up and watching him play football and just annoy everyone was some of the greatest days I've had at Marvel Stadium. When he got the yips, though, that was horrible. Do you remember the year he got the yips?
Yeah, it was early in his career, but he seemed to sort it out pretty quickly because he missed some easy goals.
Oh, he missed some shockers.
Right in front, 10 metres out. So
but no, it's good. I welcome a pesky small forward who's going to irritate the opposition because, like you said, I've been pitied and I've been envied, and I much prefer being envied. So hopefully he's in our 2028 Premiership flag winning team, Dean.
Yeah, when women are celebrating their fifth in a row. So we might. That'll be 5, and then I'll get the men's program to 5 as well.
Finally, so. They'll fire up after that. So love to see it.
All right. Well, what about tonight and this pick? A key defender by the name of Blake Threadgold, possibly the best key defender in the draft class. That's what they're saying. Looks like a couple of needs-based picks, which we kind of, I think that's where we're at now. We can't just keep going for the best. Well, it should probably be another midfielder, and I'm kind of sick of getting midfielders at the moment. I think we need a key defender coming through because, I don't know, I want to rely too long, Claire, with Griffin Logue, Aidan Corr and Toby Pink to take us to 12 wins and that premiership in 2028 you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, the promised lands. Look, Aidan Corr and Griffin Logue are not the answers. Love you, Toby Pink. And obviously Shom is, we love him, but he's still developing, and if he can get his body right and things like that, I think there's a lot of promise in Archer, but he's not a key back. Luke McDonald was out for most of last season, so I think it'll be handy coming back in. But yeah, developing a good key defender seems to be a massive priority for North. I think Will Dawson,
he looks all right.
He looks all right. He looks like there's something that you can work with. You can carve a bit out of him, so that's going to be interesting as a prospect. I'm not sure what they're going to do with Whitlock yet. When we drafted him last year, I know he's put on a bit of weight and he's doing obviously another preseason, which is good to see. But yeah, I do think I'm not surprised. A lot of people were sort of saying what's North doing at the trade table, or the lack of what they were doing, but you can't pull up your socks if you're not wearing any, and I don't think North had much to work with if people don't want to go to the club, and people don't want to play with one of the worst defences in the league. So I'm not surprised they didn't get a key back. I think that it's now on to the club that they need to develop and really generate their own sort of success in that area. So it's going to be the opposite of the women's, who, like you said before, are averaging or conceding, I think, 20 points a game versus the 120 that our men concede.
6 times more.
Yeah, but we can only hope that Libby Birch and Jazz Ferguson rub off on some of these young defenders that are going through the ranks and learning their craft. So hopefully they're watching the defenders highlight reel at North Melbourne.
Yeah, just watch a bit of Jace Ferguson if you want to learn the key defensive role. Just running through Aidan McDonough and walking over her. So that's all you need to do. Watch that for 5 seconds, and I'm sure that'll inspire Blake Threadgold to have a 300-game career, be All-Australian, multiple All-Australian captain, and so forth. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, yeah, it seems like the approach is to go for what we need, not just in previous years. It seems like Brady Rawlings, and I'll give him credit. He seems to have gone needs-based now rather than going for best available. When that really came back to bite us when we took Zane Dersma, and I think there's probably regrets there because he didn't take Nick Watson, which is the type of player we desperately needed at the time, instead of just going for needs-based back then. I understand it was an early pick and these are a bit later. Still, it might be a case of going back to the well and digging yourself into a hole, hoping that you can come through the other side and find a player of Nick Watson's type, and obviously an intercepting defender because, like you said, Claire, we're not going to get anyone. We're not good enough to get these, like a Josh Battle or someone like that will want to come across. So we have to develop these types of players. And if we become a decent team, win 10, 12 games next year, then you might be able to get the free agents like Josh Battle or something like that. So I don't mind this approach of going back to my original point. I don't mind this approach of going for needs-based rather than best available sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty obvious, the draft. And look, there's a lot of people, saying the rod is on manipulation or the academy picks. Even if we just take that out of it, the last time that we really landed a real rich vein of free agents that made a difference was obviously the Sean Higgins, Jared Waite kind of era. And up until then, what has come through the club in terms of talent, I'm not even going to go near the Jared Pollock and the Jasper Pitter. But Aaron Halls, we haven't attracted the best. We've attracted at best probably C grade players that we've tried to turn into, B grade players, and some of them have kind of worked out, and some of them have absolutely not worked out at all. So it's the ability to understand where you're at as a football club and go to the draft and develop, and ideally make sure that you're generating the talent and putting it through our systems and doing the right thing. So, and then, like you said, when we're a club that's kind of back up on its knees again and doing well, ideally you can attract, really good talent to come play with us. But for the moment, we are Marvel slop.
Unfortunately, at the moment.
Unfortunately, yeah. And that's okay. That's just where we're at. And, even speaking to some fans about the draft, I'm sort of saying, as a North fan, it's sort of Collingwood taking the approach of we want players, not picks. I was like, well, that's a really nice strategy and approach when you're a club of the size that is Collingwood and you are a destination club. But I kind of understand why St Kilda have sold the farm to get TDK and to get all these players in, because they think in the next couple of years they've got a real whack at it. So why not go for it? Because the draft is not going to offer the answers to the problems or the solutions that they're looking for. So they're on a different stage. We're in another. Our rebuild was always going to be longer. A, because we fucked it with Noble and Shaw, and B, because we can't just top up. So that's the pain that you pay and the tax that you pay for supporting North, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So it is what it is,
Builds resilience, Claire. Builds resilience.
100%. 100%, Dean. Yeah.
We're better for this adversity. We will
exactly. I've got it's like having a hero's origin story. You got a little bit of because the thing is, at the end of the day, and I know it sounds like I'm just saying this, but I have no want to go for a Collingwood. I have no want to go for a big, for me, and this guy I saw on Twitter today, this one of the Twitter accounts that I follow, he wrote this really interesting article about how people are obsessed with crowd numbers and fan bases and the size of these things. And, Marvel only getting 12K on a Sunday. I'm like, to me, it doesn't matter. Like, I want to watch my team play football, and ideally I watch them play good football. If they don't have that many eyeballs on it, like, what's it to me? I don't really care. Like, crowd sizes have never really bothered me about that. To me, it's like a big, real, I don't know. I don't care for it. Whereas I think people have this real fixation about it, and it doesn't bother me at all. Like, if we play in front of Marvel for 10K, us against Freo, or if we play against Marvel for Carlton on, the Super Clash, and it's like 40K, it actually it's all the same to me. And until we start playing good footy, I'm sort of like, let's just work on our football before we talk about crowd numbers and things like that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you play good football, generally the crowd will come anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how big or small you are as a club. So we'll worry about that. But in saying all that, now I think our list is pretty much finished. I think we've got another pick tonight in the 40s or something like that. We've been given the easiest draw for next season. Are you putting expectations on the team going into next year that we may get to eight or 10 wins?
Based on the fixture, I think I penciled in 7. Okay. I think yeah, because we've got West Coast twice. Do we have Tigers twice as well?
I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah, Tigers, Essendon twice.
Yeah. Even our first 6, people have sort of said, apart from Brisbane, but like it's like Port, Carlton, Essendon, and a couple other dubious, maybe like a Melbourne in there. So I think I've penciled us down for 7. But I have very low expectations. And like, I know McCurch has come out and he's raring to go and sort of said, look, we want to be playing a higher standard. And I just think, Dean, for me, it's about depth. And when you lose 1 or 2 key players, touch wood.
Makes a difference. Yeah.
It makes a huge difference to a team that's just developed. Like, when you lose, even like when Curtis was suspended for ridiculous things throughout the year, it just makes such a big difference. Whereas other good teams can absorb that loss. And I just don't think that we can do that yet. So, yeah, I don't know. I've got 7 definitely penciled in. What do you have penciled in?
Oh, I don't have anything penciled in just yet. Yeah, I think 6 or 7. Looking at the fixture, but to be honest with you, that's probably setting the bar low. I'd like to get more than that. I think it's time to start making some inroads. And if we're not making inroads next year, then there's got to be serious discussions about the coaching staff and maybe moving forward with that. Because you can only, we've done a lot of recruiting the last couple of years as far as getting veterans in. We're trying to get the balance right. We should be seeing more internal growth from George Wardlaw. I thought it was actually a pretty average year from him, so we want a bigger year from him next year. Hopefully he stays healthy. He's looking quite ripped. So, so hopefully 3rd or 4th year players, you really want to see them take the next step as well.
It's hard, isn't it? Because, like, you look at someone like Tom Powell, and he had his career best year last year, and you wouldn't really know because, like, we just didn't get that many wins, and he doesn't necessarily swing the pendulum, but he also is key to us playing well. Like, it's a weird, odd list because you get even Dill Stevens had like some decent games and then just went out of favor. Bailey Scott had his worst career yet, could barely get into the team. Like, there's just so many different levers and ups and downs. Obviously, Archer got injured. And then like towards the back end, we find Cooper Trembath out of nowhere. Like, kid comes in, exactly, and averages 3 goals a game now. Like, it's just, it's so bizarre. I just think, I think 2026 is a year of like consolidating, and it's a year of like Finn O'Sullivan getting better, LDU like really getting the Harry Sheezel LDU rotation in the middle. God knows what we're going to do with Simpkin. He probably will have to play high half forward wing. But it's about consolidating, and I think you're right about it's time to lift the standards. But for me, it's the lack of depth that worries me. You lose 1 or 2, and it can fall away very quickly. It's like the opposite of the women's, where the women's throughout the year have been so good at covering and playing your role and knowing the system. Whereas I feel like at the moment, North are just a bit too reliant on specific needs of specific players. Like, say, touch wood, something happens to Sheasel. What the fuck are we going to do? Like,
it's a concern.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, good teams, like, obviously Hawthorn missed out on Will Day for large chunks of the season. But, and towards the pointy end, it made sense they were missing that midfield speed and run and carry. But they're able to go all the way deep into finals by covering that depth, where I just don't think our team has that level of depth covered yet, Yeah. But anyway, look, we could talk about the men's deficiencies all year, and I'd rather talk about the women,
Yeah, definitely. Now, just before we go to the women's and previewing the big game coming up this week, now, the captaincy for next season, you did talk about Jai Simpkin. Michael Barlow was interviewed today and he said it was highly unlikely that Jai Simpkin will be captain next season. I think it's pretty much a 0% chance he will be. It would almost be a shock if he was captain now, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, Jai Simpkin cannot captain the club in 2026. That's... not after everything that's happened, not after his intentions were made pretty clear. I think it'd be a pretty diabolical decision. I think I'd be going with Sherry Larkey, sort of maybe joint captaincy, something in the mix there with Sheasel and the leadership group. Parker as well, ideally. I think that's a good look. But yeah, I don't want Jai in there. Like, I think I saw his Instagram post. I'll believe it when I see it. Like, I think actions speak louder than words. Well, I haven't seen him at the AFLW yet. I hope he's there on the weekend. I know heaps of the boys have gone down to the games and have watched the finals, so that's good to see. But if you want to come back to the club and you want the club to wrap their arms around you, then I need you to see you present and, I'm struggling to find the right word. I need to see
a bit more commitment than what.
100%. Invest.
Yeah, that's probably the right word. Investing.
Investing.
In the club, not just I'll just do the right thing at training and then piss
exactly.
off see me new girlfriend and forget about you boys. So
I mean, I think about in the opposite contrast, like, Parrish and McGrath were rocking up to the AFLW games to the Essendon, and they were sitting there and supporting and watching and going into the rooms and giving advice. Like, that's good leadership, and I think that's what I expect from Jai. I'm happy to wrap my arms around you again, mate, but you got to prove it, I guess, is what I... But I would lock in like a Sherry and a Larkey, maybe co-captain situation. What about you?
Yeah, I think, look, I'd probably say it'd be Larkey. He seems to talk well with the media. He's got a lot of respect from the fellow playing group. It'll either be him, maybe Sheasel, but Sheasel's probably just a bit too young. We don't need to put any more pressure on him than there already is. I think we've already said that he's pretty much going to have to be our saviour. So,
exactly.
Larkey, he seems like he's got the respect of the playing group. I just want his body language sometimes out in the field. If the ball's not kicked on his tit, then you'll sort of have a go at the players up the field. So I sort of worry about that. That's got to improve a little bit. His body language when he's playing, I think that's got to show a little bit more out on the football field. But look, it might be at the end of the day, it's probably just a temporary thing for a year or two, and then I think Sheasel will be the captain for the next 5 or 6 years. And that's the most obvious choice. And he's very even if he got it next year, he's very well respected by the playing group. The players will look out for him out on the football field if he is targeted. So I don't mind that option either. So we'll have to wait and see. But we don't have too many options. I mean, would you consider a Luke Parker for a year or two?
No, not as sole captain. Potentially as a dual, like co-captaining with someone else. I just don't think he's been there for a year. I think he'd be great in the leadership group. I think he's got a lot of knowledge. I think he's got a lot of wisdom, and I think he's great at coaching the young boys, especially his work. I think he's done a lot of work with Zane Dersma last year, and some high half forwards and things like that. But I don't know whether I'd make him just sole captain. I think that he's not. He seems like the type of guy that he's going to eke out 3 to max 4 years of his career at North. Sort of like maybe a Sean Higgins type, but not in the same way that in terms of like Sean Higgins was playing finals. Luke Parker's kind of going to give his all in his last kind of bit of his career, his kind of twilight years of his career, and then go into the sunset. So, yeah, I think happy to co-captain with him, but I don't want to make him the sole. It just doesn't feel very North Melbourne. He feels more Sydney than he does North Melbourne at the moment.
Well, he's only been in the club for 1 year, so
yeah, exactly. So, yeah,
and he's going to be remembered through his career mainly for what he did at the Sydney Swans, and the service he gave them. But look, he's still providing some valuable skills and tools. He was very good last year.
He was fantastic. Yeah, he's a great pickup. Like, Darling and him I understand 100% why they've been included in the team. I understand the balance. And, the best thing for North in a couple of years' time is that we don't need them. But at the moment, we still do, and that's where we're at with the list. But the best days of North that are coming for us is Parker and Darling not playing for us. And we've got the talent and the depth and the balance for those guys to be enjoying sitting on the couch and watching us with a beer, as opposed to rocking up to Marvel at 4:40
on a Sunday.
Exactly. Yeah. Prime time slot for us. Yeah, love to see it.
I don't know. I didn't look too closely at the fixture. I just looked at the ease of the draw. I don't know the days. I think we've got a few Saturday games, probably a few Sunday Arvo games, which doesn't really bother me. I don't stay up too late most weeks, most nights, so I don't mind getting it out of the way on a Saturday afternoon. So yeah, I haven't looked too closely at that, but we'll move forward to the more important issue in the women's team this week. Melbourne with a good win against the Crows, finished off the game really well, and they get the luck of playing us in the prelim. I think they actually haven't been too bad, Claire. I felt like they should have knocked off Brisbane in the first week. Just a little bit of bad kinking, and Zanka going off in the first quarter with a concussion really hurt their chances. But this Saturday at 3 or 5 p.m., any worries here, Claire?
I agree with you in terms of I do think they're a little unlucky to not jump Brisbane. I think they had more inside 50s and they had more set shots on goal. I think, Zanka going down really early really pushed their structure. But funnily enough, I think them having the opportunity to play without Zanka the week after against Adelaide opened up some different opportunities with Riley Wotherspoon playing down forward. Kate Hoare kicked 3 as well, which is good for her. And I really like Eliza McNamara. I think she's really interesting to me. She's got some real pace. She's got some real craft about her. Tyler Hanks, I think, is good as well. So they're an interesting outfit. I think in terms of how they've played their footy this year, they've been able to score well. The only thing that is a bit of an asterisk for me is that they also get scored against quite heavily. So the way that they play their footy is the run and gun and the carry, and it relies heavily on going through the corridor and smashing teams with the overlap. But the downside to that is that you can leave yourself pretty exposed going the other way if things don't work out. So I do expect North to punish that type of play. It's available to them. I also think whilst North don't necessarily are going to tag someone like a Kate Hoare, I think she'll be closely checked throughout the match. And I think her supply will be limited. And we know, I think, one of the big reasons why they've been so successful this season, and specifically the finals, has been because of Kate Hoare. She kicked 3 last week and I think racked up 25 plus. So I think I'm not nervous in the sense that I think Melbourne will win. I do think North will win, but I also think that I'm nervous in the sense that if Melbourne can get a run and carry on, and if they can get the up and going, like if they're able to score heavily against us in the first quarter, which no one has been able to do, I do think they could make it into a shootout, and that would be advantageous to them. Like with Zanka, with Bannon, with Taylor Harris, they've got some pretty good key forwards down there. So it'll be interesting to see what style of play that they'll go with. What about you? How are you feeling about the game?
Yeah, oh, look, I'm confident every time we play. It's nothing against the opposition. We're just better than every team in a competition. I think our system just holds up that much better than anyone else. I think this is the best team I've ever seen. And I've seen some good teams. Like I'll compare it a lot to the Geelong of 2000s. Where they win the premierships. I mean, they had some good individual talent, like Gary Ablett's, like Jasmine Garner. Jimmy Bartell was the Ash Riddell. But they had so many unselfish players back in that era. Stevie Johnson was a very unselfish player. They had the Joel Coreys, Corey Enrights. They all just played their role. And I'll say that's very similar with North, but it's only better. Eric O'Shea is just like the Corey Enright, just intercepts, gives good drive off the halfback flank. Emma Carney as well. Our system and our process just holds up, and the scoreboard just takes care of itself. Even when the game's not in our terms, the process and the system still holds up. We might concede one goal, when the game isn't on our terms, because our back line is very solid.
Yeah,
nothing really gets behind them. Even if you can break even against their midfield, our back line will quell any issues that we haven't lost an inside 50 count, and we haven't even come close to losing an inside 50 count all year. The ball's spent about 70% of the time in our forward half just through our system and process. So and that's why I feel confident. Nothing against Melbourne; they're just not at our level, and the odds say that. We're $1.05 this week, Claire. Yeah, and that's crazy. That's crazy odds playing against the second team, the team that finished second, and in a prelim final, that we're $1.05 and then $9.50. I mean, I've never heard of that.
Nah, it is. Did I say? I think it was a week ago. We were talking about, North are $1.10 to win a flag, and we haven't even won a prelim yet. Like that's crazy odds to me. Like that's just
unheard of.
Yeah, it is. It's quite insane when you think about it. And it's a process-based system that any player, whether you're Ariana Hetherington, Amy AGM, whether you're when you're Alice Slocum, whoever comes into the team, Tess Boyd, whoever comes into the team understands their role, knows how to play it well, and knows what their overall kind of goal is. So like you said, it's going to be really hard for, I think, D's to score, and then vice versa, if the ball might live up down the other end, and it's just a matter of inevitability. And like you said, if we only concede about 20 points a game on average, then all we've got to do is kick 4 to 5 goals, and we've won. It's a fairly simple math equation there, which is pretty insane when you think about it. I also think having someone like Olivia Birch, who obviously knows Melbourne pretty well, used to play there herself. That could be some interesting intel that she might have. I'm fascinated about Zanka and Chaplin coming back. I think Zanka's fine. Obviously, she was concussed. I'm fascinated about Chaplin. I don't know whether they've rushed her back yet. She's sitting on the interchange for the team lineup sheet. And we spoke off air about how you've just got to have a throw at the stumps there in terms of.
She's got to play, even if she's 70%. Take the risk. If she does it in the first quarter, so be it.
Yeah.
You're not going to win anyway, so you may as well just, at least we gave it a chance, to try and win. So, I can certainly understand. And you got to put it, and if she can't get up, then she's a late withdrawal. But you got to at least, give it every chance.
Give her a dip. Yeah.
I mean, hamstring strain, it should be close to 4 weeks. I think it's been about 2 weeks.
3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming up to 3s.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
well, I guess it's let's just run the risk, see what happens, as opposed to it's. I mean, even if Isla Sheeran was only 70% fit, I'd still find a way to put her in. I think she's ready to go. She's like an excited kid waking up on Christmas morning it's almost like she was built for finals footy, but she's just been at Richmond and GWS, mind you. Or does she actually? No, she's from Sydney originally, but she's been at clubs that hasn't served her capabilities. So I think she's just so ready to rip into a finals-like game of football because I think she's got all the skills in the world. Like I watched her tackle. There was a video that they put up with all the best tackles in finals, and she's just got this ripper tackle against one of the Spark sisters against Brisbane, and it was just chef's kiss. It was such a good tackle. So I think Eilish Shurin is built for finals footy, and she finally gets to kind of play it in a very good team. So it's going to be a ripper to see.
Oh, she's very good. She was having a very good year till she did her hamstring. I'm curious to see what position she plays, Claire. There is talk that maybe midfield, but she has come in for Tessa Boyd. I guess it makes sense for her to be a straight swap for Tess Boyd.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think the idea is that, and I think Tess unfortunately has the least amount of time on ground out of all those defenders. So you've got obviously Libby and Jazz as the two lockdown key backs, and then you've got O'Shea and Carney that can kind of run and carry. Eliza's kind of a bit more taller and can provide the tall option. It wouldn't shock me that Sheila goes back and does some work down there, just with her height, and then Shurin, goes into a middle as a midfield rotation, which will be huge because that's scary. Oh, yeah. It's scary, exciting what she can do. Like I'm thinking about prime Shurin back in remember the first couple of games that we watched her at the start of the season? I'm like, what have we got on our hands here? And I knew she was good. She was an All-Australian for a reason, but it just seems like she's cranked it into a different level. So, yeah, she's going to be grouse on the weekend. I can't wait to watch her. She's just going to be so fun. And she's going to be like a little puppy, so excited to just be a part of everything and gassing out at everything. So, yeah, it's going to be marvellous to watch her.
Yeah, I don't know what a game time will be like. I'd say it'd be about 65-70% game time.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll give her a full 100%. Look, she probably could have played the first week of the finals, from what I understand, but they didn't want to take that risk. Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
I think her game time will be 65-70%, and just sort of see from there. Do you remember what I said about her when we got her at the start of the year, Claire? I said
no.
She may have been an upgrade on a certain player at the club.
An upgrade. She might be an upgrade on. No, did you say upgrade on Carney?
Yeah, because Carney didn't play last year much, so I said, she's an upgrade on her because Carney didn't play last year. And
that's so true. My days. Yeah. I remember that now.
Yeah, so. I rated her at Richmond, so I was rapt when we got her across, and I thought, like a lot of people were sort of saying, "Oh, you paid a first rounder for her for the 32-year-old," but I said it's worth it. If you're in a premiership window, you've got to get players like that in,
100%.
And you've got to pay overs. There's no point getting another kid.
100%. I would have given them 2 first rounders for her.
She's probably worth it.
And she wouldn't. She had cleaned out her locker before the end of the set. Like she had no interest in being in there, and so realistically, we did a good thing by Richmond because, I think she would have sat and played VFL before she went back to Richmond. To be honest, but she's a gun. She's going to be a gun. It's also one of those things where, you look at these players now. It's very odd to me that everyone writes someone off by the time they turn 30, considering what the league has been able to do. Like you look at Pendlebury and Zorko, and obviously Goldstein retired today and announced it today. But there are some players that have so much talent, and their mental game and their hunger stays with them for a very long time. So whilst Shurin is a little bit older, who's to say that she's not going to get another 3 to 4 years out of her career? And definitely. You can do a lot with her in the sense that she might, when she gets a little bit older, she might deteriorate a bit and not be able to play mid, but I'd happily chuck her across a half back or in a forward line there's just so much. She's such a utility in terms of what she can bring to the game. So, yeah, she's a gun. I know obviously Libby is a premiership playing, kangaroo at the moment, but she's she's better than Libby in terms of what her skill set is, I think, to North and what she offers to North personally.
Different types of players, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, Libby Birch is in
yeah, very different. But
pound for pound, yeah, you're probably right. So
Sheeran's a utility as a footballer,
she's played some good roles.
Yeah, she can play a lot. Whereas love Libby, but she's a dour defender, and we love her for it because she plays in the best defense. But that is her bread and butter. That's what she can do. Whereas Sheeran, I just see so many different possibilities with her. It's like marvelous creations. Like it's just there's popping candy, there's jelly, there's chocolate. There's just so much going on, D.
No, it definitely is. But yeah, look, it'll be interesting to see what role she will play this Saturday. But yeah, definitely looking forward to. I mean, it's not bad where you can just put someone like an Isla Sheeran straight back into your team, as if we weren't strong enough already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you have to feel for Tessa Boyd. It came into the team pretty late into the squad, probably a week or two before the season started. Came in after round 2 or 3. I think it was against Port Adelaide was their first game. Missed a couple of weeks there with back spasms, but has been a good soldier, hasn't she, when we've had a few injuries in that back half.
Yeah, definitely. And it's unfortunate. Like not everyone. There's 16 on the ground. It'd be great if there was 18 and everyone could get a go. But yeah, I mean, look, the good thing is she's got some time. Like if anything, she can take a lot out of Eliza Shannon, who obviously missed out in the 2024 year and was very unlucky. But that's the way life works sometimes. With Nicole Brojnahan being out for the majority of the season, Tess Boyd does get to stand up Sarah Wright, obviously, who's been gone. Like, it swings and roundabouts. Like, she wouldn't have had this opportunity. She wouldn't even be thinking she could play for a premiership winning side. Well, I guess she was playing VFL for our team, so she would have won a flag in the VFL team. But what I mean to say is that I don't know whether Tess Boyd had aspirations to play AFLW, and now she's playing for the best club in the AFLW, and one of those downsides is that the fact that it's quite hard at the team selection calls, and unfortunately, that the axe did drop on her. But I think she's got a bright future. She's 28 years old.
Yeah, she's a bit on the older side, but still, but a lot of experience too.
100%. I think she's the type of person who's only going to get better as well. She's 28, but I can easily see her playing for the next 5 to 6 years. Pending some injury or pending what things happen. So I think she'll get her time. It's just unfortunate when you have to make those selection calls. But I think Croc did the right thing, to be honest.
Yeah, it would have been now. I'm going to ask you this, Claire. This is probably the tough one. Now, if Mia King was available this week, and apparently she was quite close, Darren Crocker said, I think she'll be right. I think, I'm paraphrasing here a little bit, but he said, I think she'll be right for the grand final. That's going to make an interesting call. I don't know. I think we talked about this. We sent a few messages off yesterday. We cannot name a player that we could take out to put Mia King in. I mean, Tess Boyd, unfortunately, was probably the easy call as far as going out if Isla Sheeran is coming in. But I don't know who would come out if Mia King came into the team.
No idea. I just, and like we said off air, if you had have asked us this 6 or 7 weeks ago when Mia King is dominating against Brisbane up in Brighton Homes Arena, like you would have said, you can't not play her. But it's not one of those situations where, because North play their wings so well with Gat, Smith and Craven, it's not like she could rotate there. And it's, who are you going to kick out of Riddell, Tripodi, Garner, or Sheeran? Like, you can't kick anyone. Like, Tripodi's had probably a career best season in that sort of midfield rotation. And then what are you going to do? Kick out Garner or Riddell? It's just, it's insane. Yeah. It's absolutely insane. So, it's, it would be incredibly unfortunate if she's right to go. She's cherry ripe and she can't play. But I don't know. From the way that Croc spoke in the presser, I don't know whether, because she did her PCL against Tigers. What round was that now? That would have been
round 9, round 10, something like that. Yeah.
And they predicted it being 5 or 6 weeks, didn't they?
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Yeah. So, look, again, very unfortunate. these things suck. And yeah, I'm glad that she obviously had a premiership win in 2024, and it sucks to miss out this year. But then you also got to remember she did get to play in the 2024 and like the 2023 grand final as well, and we lost, but it's still a privilege to play in grand finals. So she's had some time, she's had some opportunities, and she's young. She's got so much ahead of her. So ideally, she gets to play in another flag in 2026 and 7 and 18.
More than likely. Look, I think the good thing about her, if they sort of said, "Look, we're not going to put you in because you're underdone. We can't just drop someone." I think she would take it quite well. She's got that sort of character about her.
Yeah.
Look, it'd still be hard, but she wouldn't.
Definitely.
But she wouldn't let it affect the team. Her personal, sacrifice. Even Ella Sheeran, I think she could have played the first week of finals, and she probably would have declared herself right, but they sort of said, "Look, just have this week off." But you sort of see, like we talk about, the process, and you see those girls before a game and they're high-fiving each other, her and me.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep it relaxed. And that it's not just about the team that goes out on the field. It's the players that do things like that. It's the staff as well. It's a process of that, and it keeps a good culture, keeps it loose. Because generally, when you do things pretty well in life, whatever you do, whether it's running a marathon or playing football or playing cricket, you do it when you're relaxed. And,
definitely.
Yeah.
And to find a way to bring up the Ashes into our podcast, I think what's really interesting, I've been watching a lot of content around the Ashes, and the Australian team, Steve Smith in particular with his press, they look very relaxed. There's a sense of sort of calm and taking in the moment and enjoying it and taking it as they come and having a laugh and understanding, great, it's going to be a big series, but I get to play professional sport with my friends and play in the biggest theatre of all, and what a privilege, and let's just have a good time as well. So I think even listening to Crocker's presses and the stuff that he does with the media, he's been really good at kind of emphasising to the girls and to the wider program that to enjoy it and to be present in this, and to play good footy is to, be a really well-connected team that is enjoying the work that they do. And I think that comes across quite well. I think you can really see the team really bonding and getting, even the way that they've obviously attended, the finals together. They go into the spa together. They get coffee together. There's a real sense of camaraderie and enjoyment in each other's company. So, I think win, lose or draw, whether you're on the bench, whether you're on where you are on the field, I think there's a great level of support. I think even Flash and Nicole Brejnahan's doing maybe some coaching work as well. So, there's a real sense of unity and oneness. And I've always built into the notion that it takes a whole team and a whole list to win a flag. Unfortunately, not everyone gets a medal. And that's neither here nor there. Not to debate that tonight, but as in, it takes depth players, and it takes the number 22 to this player to get you across the line. And even, someone like Ella, who got her debut this year, she's contributed to what that we have achieved this year. So you all play your part and your role in that. So, hopefully we so people like Isla Sheeran and Eliza Shannon, especially Eliza Shannon, is able to get the glory that they so rightly deserve, given what they've done and contributed to our program.
No, definitely. She's been, I think Eliza Shannon's been more than just a bit player. She's had some big roles. She kept Chloe Malloy scoreless. That's going back a while. But she's had some big jobs this year and just does it week in, week out. There's some weird stuff out on the football field sometimes. But there's nothing wrong with that. You
we like it. That. We like it. It's different. Yeah. It's unusual. We like it. We embrace the weird,
Yeah, that's it. And you got to bring ourselves back to a little bit of levelness. We don't want to be too good. We just want the odd mistake to remind us of the men's team sometimes.
Exactly, and you know what? They're human. They're human, Dean. Sometimes we forget they're not goddesses. It's nice to be reminded they also have flaws as well. So, I know what you mean.
No, definitely. What would Kate Hoare have to do for the Melbourne Football Club to win this weekend? How big of a game would she have to have?
So she'd have to kick about 5, maybe even more, maybe even 6.
Yeah.
She'd have to work overtime. She would be looking for a bonus check, a commission check after her game on the weekends, considering the work that she'd have to put in. But I don't look, all credit. I've been watching her. She's obviously a gun, but I think with North's system and how they set things up, I think they'll cut off her supply. I think that her damage is done. They look to her to be the big swing player and the big momentum player and the person that does the big tackles or kicks the goals, the momentum swinging goals. And I think if she can't perform that role for them, it could be very interesting to see who they also go to in terms of leadership there. I'll be fascinated. I just don't think it's not that it's disrespect. I just don't think North tag as a football club. I think they believe in their system. They don't have to go. They're happy to go pound for pound and see how it goes. But I just don't think Kate Hall will get nearly as much time and space as what she's been afforded to in the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, she'd have to kick about 7 and have 50 disposals, I'd say, if Melbourne are going to win. But what do you think?
I think, she might get 25 touches, but even that, whatever she plays, it's not going to be enough. She's not going to kick 6 or 5 or anything like that, or something ridiculous. She might kick 2 and get 25 possessions. That's still not going to be anywhere near enough. And that's nothing against Kate Hall. She's a fantastic player and has been, a fantastic asset for the AFLW program. Even with everybody saying how much it lacks quality, she is a quality footballer.
She is a quality footballer. Yeah. I agree.
And it's enjoyable to watch. You certainly like watching good players play. And she's definitely one of them, one of the best in the comp. But it's not going to be enough. Whatever she does, I'm not even worried about her. I know there's a lot of talk about her, but she could. For all we know, she might have 15 touches and not hit the scoreboard. The game might be over 3/4 time. It might be 8 goals there, and they might just say, "Look, just go in the forward pocket, just rest. We're not going to win from here." So, just save yourself for next year or next season. So, we'll have to wait and see. But it would have to take a monumental effort for Melbourne to be competitive, let alone, of course, not boil over. I mean, anything can happen, but I certainly can't see it. In saying that, all that, Claire, what's your prediction for the game?
It's weird because my dad texted me and I had the exact same thought, and we both think North by about 27 points. So it's weird that we never really agree with that, and I'm always into him because he's never. If you think I'm a little bit hesitant, my dad, I guess being a lifelong North supporter, does that to you. But he reckons North by 27, and so do I. I think they'll be. I think we'll be on top for most of the match. I think there'll be maybe at possible some times where D's potentially, get a back-to-back and the commentators get excited and they think it could be a competitive match. But, I just think that they'll be raring to go. They've got the finals experience. The gap in which has opened up. So we played them obviously in 20 last year. We haven't played them all this year. But I think North have just got better in terms of what they've been to add to their list. Like Bogue, Sheeran, for example, in terms of the talent. And I think our young kids like Craven Smith, Tripodi have just got better. So in terms of the gap between the two teams, I think North has improved. And whilst I think Melbourne have played a decent season of football, I don't see how they're able to beat her. I don't see, in order to beat North, you're going to have to kick potentially 60 points, and I don't see a team doing that against us. So
no, not one team will. No.
Yeah, it sounds quite arrogant, and that's just also a very big belief in how great our defense is as well. Like Erica O'Shea against Hawks, legacy game, incredible. Just was in and everything, running, carrying. I think with the week off as well, the freshness of the week off, I think that's going to make them hungry and come out with a bang and really excited. So, yeah, what's your prediction, Dean?
Yeah, I'll go about 34 points.
Okay.
I think the D's will hang in there for periods of the game. There's just going to be periods where, in 10 minutes we're going to kick 4 goals or 5 goals or something like that, and it'll just break the game open. I think they'll try hard, but I just don't. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing against them, like I've sort of said, or against any other teams, but we're just that far above the rest of the competition. And the results have shown that all year. We've had people complain on X that we're far too good, and we're making it uncompetitive. But we can't drop to your level, rise to our level. It's
100%. 100%. Yeah. I mean, it's. Yeah, I'm actually at a crossroads, funnily enough, at an X at the moment. I'm very close to being shutting up shop after the 2025 AFLW season. I'm really close to shutting up shop on X/Twitter. I'm not
pretty close to it at the moment. So
well, I'm not finding the analysis of sport and the amount of content that is being made and just the amount of shit that is being kind of put up. It's not good.
It's quite negative. It's quite hostile. Yeah. People can't have a civil conversation. They get they try and get personal with you.
Yeah.
It's
very bizarre.
Close to be done.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre space. I think I've really lost, and I've thought about my passion for sport over the past couple of years, and how much it's kind of deteriorated and gone away. And I think a large part of that has got to do with how much time I do spend on Twitter when I'm watching sport. And even if it's like, a men's Friday night game even if it's like Geelong versus Western Bulldogs, it's a decent, good game down at GMHBA. Instead of watching it and paying attention and the analysis of the game, I'm too busy on X scrolling to see other people's opinions of it. I'm like, what am I doing here? I don't even care though. I don't care about your opinion. So I think I think I'm going to shut up shop after the 2025 AFLW season. I think I'm ready to kind of pull the pin on it and sort of say I'm ready to go back to enjoying sport in a different way. Because the thing about the Ashes and other things is I can always just text people and we can have a conversation watching the thing together as opposed to engaging online. So do you feel the same? I feel like maybe
it's just like even when I open up X, it was all this Elon Musk tweets about politics and all that, and then Trump, and then people against Trump. And I was thinking, I don't even want to look at politics. I'm just looking at sport, trying to find some football feed. It took me ages to find who we drafted on X. I'm trying to look up that. At this day and age, if I've got enough group chats at the moment in WhatsApp, that at least you're talking with civil and smart people.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Rather than actually going on X and just you get that dickhead. I think we talked about it off here, that Brisbane Bear bloke, and you read his and I just read his tweet and I'm thinking I've become dumber looking at this tweet because it makes no sense. And then you go to the next person, he's it's just as bad, and you think, oh, what am I doing here? I've kind of gone off it now. I don't really put much up there. I'll send the link out for the podcast, but at the moment it's not adding any value to my life, and I'm kind of better off without it. I think it's handy for during AFL season you get the team changes and all that, but that's
definitely I
might just open up a separate account, get a burner account with no followers.
Not follow anything or follow 5 different accounts and just be like, okay, bang, this is I just want it for AFL
AFL news also.
That's it. I'm finding it very fatiguing. I'm not enjoying it. I mean, look, I've enjoyed some stuff from the Ashes build up, but I hate the black and whiteness of Twitter. It's either that was the worst ball that Stark's ever bowled and he's washed, compared to he's the greatest modern day quick that the game has ever seen, and I'm just thinking, where's the nuance? And because we're living in a clickbait economy, and your attention span and how many views you get on something is the currency, then people just come up with the most bullshit things. It's not interesting to me at all. And there's no nuance. There's no actual debate.
you know, and I spend a lot of time, a lot of my stuff is around the promotion of AFLW as a game, like as in trying to get a little bit more engagement, a little bit more fandom, a little bit more, like discourse around AFLW. And at this stage, I'm sort of like, well, A, it's not my job. I'm not being paid for it. And you know, and B, I'm not getting the same sort of loop of positive feedback. I like to think that I put good stuff out there, and what comes back is what I'm seeing and watching is negative. And I'm like, it's just not worth it at the end of the day. Like, it's just delete the app, shut up shop, and just go to your group chats. If you want to talk about, you know, Marnus Labuschagne, you know, weird batting style, then I'll just put that in the group chat and we can have a laugh, as opposed to what you can kind of get back on the community that is Twitter. It just feels very void as a place at the moment. Just no good, you know?
Yeah, it's been like that for quite a while. It's just, it doesn't add any value anymore. No. And you can't have a civil debate with anyone. And you sometimes, like, I don't care. You can say what you want about me. You can call me a dickhead or anything like that. But it's just, they go into detail about how much of a dickhead you are. It's like, geez, you're wasting time here. You could have been doing something productive.
I know. There's so much rage baiting. There's just so many people going personally attacking other people. And I'm like, bro, go touch some grass. Like, I'm begging you to, like, get some mates and go to the pub and watch the footy together, as opposed to, like, I'm not a big fan of, like, I mean, I hate the English cricket team because I respect them enough to hate them, as in the sense that, you know, I love the rivalry. But I don't hate watch. Like, you know how people sit down and be like, oh, I'm going to enjoy this because I hate these teams too much, and so much that I just want them to destroy each other and die. And I'm thinking to myself, you guys need to get a life. Like, if you're going to watch a football team because you hate them so much, like, I'm begging you, touch some grass. Go say hi to your mum.
Get into nature. Get some exercise.
Yeah, go for a run. Go to church for all I care. Do something. You're not gonna find your God online. And this whole idea of online validation and stuff, it's bizarre to me. So I'm calling it. Once we win the 2025 flag, Dean, I'll call it quits. We'll have a drink and then shut up shop, I reckon.
No, that sounds good to me. We pretty much say goodbye. Like, even talk about the winners, and you get the odd person, I can't watch that shit or anything like that. I never ask you to come into my comments. Just keep it to yourself. You don't have to come into my comments. Like, don't read it or don't follow me, block me or something.
Yeah. They'll go and hunt the content. They will literally go and hunt out content to write the most bullshit dribble on it, and you're thinking to yourself, what the fuck? Like, go get a life. Go. Why have you gone? Like, why would you? It's like me going specifically and targeting something, going to find something, and then saying, "Oh, I reckon this is terrible." I'm like, why'd you go and find it? Why'd you? It's just.
It's a waste of energy. It really is.
It really is. Anyway, have you got a trivia for me, Dean? I'm excited.
No, I don't have a trivia tonight. I'm going to save it for Sunday, Claire. If you're free.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Claire. You sound a bit disappointed.
No, that's okay. I am a little, look, I won't lie to you. It's hard to deny. I'm a little, not disappointed. I'm excited then for, it only builds to the next round. And it's probably better because I need to verse someone like Jacinta to actually play the game. But I was
thinking about doing tonight, but I thought, I'll save for Sunday.
No, you got to save it. You got to save it. And
even win, lose or draw, I'll do it on Sunday no matter what. So,
yeah, absolutely. No. Well, actually, if we do draw, if we're a draw, and surely they go like to a 5-minute.
I think it's extra time or something like that. So I don't know anymore. But North Melbourne men's team haven't played finals for a while, and the women's team just win games for fun, so we don't have to worry about it generally.
What's your, now that we're kind of wrapped up ours, what's your prediction for the other, like, who we could potentially play in a grand final? Who do you think Blues and Brisbane up at the Brighton Homes Arena? What's your go on that one?
I give the Blues half a chance. I think it'll be quite a good game. But just Brisbane being at home, a bit of finals experience. They might just get over the line by about 7 points or something like that, but it won't be much. I like the way the Blues played last week. They actually absolutely slaughtered the Hawks. I like their proactive style as well, just really taking the game on. And hopefully they continue that. They did it early in the year against Brisbane. They got the win there. So hopefully they can continue it this week. Get a few more Sophie Mackay celebrations. But what about yourself?
Yeah, I'm similar to you. I'm big into the game style of Carlton. Like I really enjoy the running gun and the high scoring, especially the Irish, that Dana Finn and Aaron Fitzpatrick. I find them really interesting to watch. So I do think, unfortunately, I think, Brisbane have just got the juice when it comes to finals atmosphere, pressure, determined, like having it, even like not having to travel, little things that add up. Like it's very hard for a team who's constantly playing in fight or flight. Like as in Carlton have now played 2 elimination games in a row. And that having the all win or nothing can be quite difficult to play. I'm similar to you. I think if Brisbane win, it won't be by much. It'll be less than 10 points. I would like to see Carlton win, to be honest, because I think even I will admit to the fact that, having North and Brisbane playing off in a third grand final, I can see objectively why. I mean, it's not their fault that they're the most talented teams. That's like we said before. It's on the other clubs to catch up, so that's not on us. But I can see objectively why neutral fans would find that a little bit boring. So I would like to see Carlton win. But, I think Brisbane by about, maybe 9 or 10 points in the end. But who knows? Anything can happen in a final. And
that's right.
Carlton have got some really interesting dynamics, and I think they're playing with a lot of good energy at the moment. Like they're playing with free money as well. They've gone to the casino, they're cashed up, and they're just kind of ready to play. And the fact that they've already won up there this year, I think, is really interesting. So, it'll be. I'm really fascinated in watching that game as well, because in terms of Brisbane, I think they've got some really good players, but I think their two-way running is interesting. Like, I think
that might be a difference too.
If
Carlton can get the game on the outside, they're a big chance.
Yeah, exactly right. I think I think that's their biggest opportunity. If Carlton are able to capitalise on the outside run and gun and the carry and that all that momentum and energy, I think that they could be really interesting to watch. Whereas I think Brisbane are relying on a lot more contested sort of ball as well. So, I don't know. Hopefully it's a really hard and tight contest. So whoever we ideally get to play the next week, they're going to be absolutely smashed, from the process. But exciting to be at Icon Park. I think it's 25 or 24 on the overcast.
Yeah, it's going to be warm. So so that'll be good. A bit of warmer weather. So getting to that stage time of year. But I mean, generally, like before we finish off, but generally speaking, the weather hasn't been too bad as opposed to last season, where it felt like it rained for about the first half of the year every game last season. This year it's been quite. I think we've been quite lucky. There's been a couple really windy days at Windy Hill in particular. That was a shocker, but there's been a couple others probably that haven't been great. But generally speaking, overall, considering they play outside of Marvel, the weather hasn't been too bad as far as a spectacle goes as well.
Yeah, I mean, ask the Essendon and the Swan supporters at Coffs Harbour. But no, I mean, look, that was just dumb of Sydney. I mean, speaking to some people that work for Sydney, they sold the game and they sold it in wet weather season to Coffs Harbour, which is just so dumb. They'll never do that again, I would have thought. Not when finals is... not when finals is on the line as well. But, in terms of weather and conditions, Windy Hill was probably the worst that we played at, whereas, respectfully, last year we got some doozies where it was just I was in Arden Street and I just felt like, I think we were playing Western Bulldogs, and it was just sideways rain, and it literally consistently rained for, I reckon, 3 quarters. It was horrific. And the same with Port Adelaide when we played them over at Whitton Oval. So, it's been good.
Yeah,
horrible.
That second half, oh my God.
I went home. I was like, I can't do this. This is just, I love these women, but I'm like, I'm cold, I'm wet, there's no respite. I needed to get out there. I also had come straight from work, and I was just like, you know what? It's time to go home. I can watch the second half at home. Let's go.
But yeah, look, I think 3:05 is a really good time slot for people. I think it's really good because I think they'll play a night grand final, and so I think that preparation of how you go about your morning, how you fill in your time, how you prepare is a really good exercise for the next week going forward as well. So yeah, hopefully we can get the job against the D's and fingers and toes crossed for no injuries as well. That's obviously key, and head into our third grand final in a row. That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be, and you can't undersell that. The achievement of that as well, making 3 grand finals in a row. I know we're breaking records, won 27 in a row or whatever we've run, but to play in 3 grand finals for any organisation is a pretty fair effort.
Yeah.
Well, Claire, we've been going long enough. Any final messages out there before I chat to you, or might see you even Saturday?
Yeah. Just fascinated in. I guess. Are you going to pick a player to watch this week, Dean? Because I reckon that's. I know you like watching the defence and how they operate, but for me, as it's been obvious in this podcast, I cannot wait to watch Eilish Sheeran play footy. So I've got a feeling about her. I think she's going to rip into it, and I think all North fans are really going to see exactly why we traded and went all in on Sheeran. So hopefully we can all get around the number 4. I did actually. That's another sign of the times. I've been sick for a while, and I got back into the running. I'm a runner, and I cracked my first 4K, which is not that big considering the numbers that you put on the Strava. Dean, I watch yours, and I'm like, fuck, I've done nothing today compared to Dino. But I cracked the 4 the other day. I lifted my arm in the air. I said, "This is for Eilish Sheeran," and I think that she's going to have a phenomenal final series. She's one to watch. I think she's got the strength of Vicky Wall, the gut running of an Astrodel. She's got the height of Garner, and with the skill of a Tess Craven. I think she's one of the most hybrid, complete players in the game. So I'm looking forward to watching her at the game and her tearing it apart. Who are you looking forward to, Dean?
I like watching Bella Eddy lately, especially when she goes through the midfield. She's come a long way as far as just her body strength, her ability to stand up in a contest, as opposed to her first year where she was quite a small kid. Whereas now you can sort of tell she's got quite big shoulders. She's definitely bulked up a lot. And, I really enjoy watching her. And very, very underrated footballer. But the problem is when you play with Garner, Riddell, and a number of others, like you mentioned, Sheeran, Carney, she almost gets lost in that group, I guess. But I really enjoy watching her through the midfield. So definitely looking forward to her. But like you said, Sheeran, very good player. Has played a number of roles this year, half-back, midfield, on the wing, wherever we've needed her. She's come in and to have her back. Yeah, to have her back, it's just going to only add to an already awesome team. Well, Claire, we've been going long enough.
We have.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on tonight. It's been a while. Hopefully you feel, it sounds like you're on the mend. You've had, I've noticed a few people have had a few colds and flus for a few weeks now, so it might be just that time of year, unfortunately. But you seem like you're on the mend, Claire.
Yeah, I'm on the mends. They're managing my time on the ground at the moment.
Yeah, TAG.
I'm thinking I could do about. Maybe I could be Carney in that Port Adelaide grand final. Play me at 40% of the time on ground. Yeah. Look, not at full tilt, but hopefully running 10Ks, or not like you, marathon man, but hopefully I'll be back to full fitness soon. But yeah, feeling good. I think it's a privilege to play in a prelim. Really excited about that, and really excited about the prospect of finally seeing. It feels like a very long time since we played the Hawks, so feels very good to be watching North footy on the weekend, and the Ashes. What a collab for the ages. So the group chat's going to be popping off, I reckon, on the weekends.
No, definitely will be. It'll probably be Friday afternoon will be interesting, that's for sure. I'm sure we'll exchange a few texts over it as well. Well, Claire, thanks so much for coming on tonight. I'll either see you Saturday or we'll chat Sunday.
Yep, sounds good.
No worries. And thank you to all your listeners as well. Don't forget, like, subscribe, leave a comment to help out the show. Tell your friends, do whatever you want. Don't forget about the girls on Saturday. I'm not too sure if there's any tickets left, but try and get down if you can and support the girls. They do amazing work. But that's it for me. Like I said, I'll be back Sunday evening or around Sunday anyway to go through and hopefully talk about a grand final